Hey, what's up guys, Meshin here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. We got a lot to go over here. We're going to be talking more about what happened a week ago with the new update, the new snakebite case, just overall an investing wrap up kind of. And I've got one main topic I really want to hit on for today. But if you guys are not already subscribed to the channel, and a large amount of you guys aren't, it definitely helps me out. Discord's the top link in the description. Let's hop on into it. So the main topic of what we're really going to be talking about today is the Prisma case, and not specifically about the Prisma case, but it's what the Prisma case did that's actually very important. Now, if you don't know, the Prisma case was previously in the prime drops. Now, previously, every case, almost every case, really went from the prime drops to then the non-prime drops. After another case came out, it got pushed into the non-prime pool, and then one of those non-prime cases would eventually get pushed into the rare pool. Now, this is not what we saw with the Prisma case, though. What we saw is the Prisma case went directly from the prime drop pool, which are the ones that you actively get if you have over level 21 in CSGO, or if you had CSGO before it was free to play. Those are the cases that you most commonly get. The Prisma case had over 1 million on the market, and it went directly into the rare pool. Now, this is very important for CSGO investing. Now, it's really important because with CSGO investing, there's very few things that you can really reliably count on, and one of the things you could reliably count on before this was that cases would move to the prime pool, and then to the non-prime pool, and then to the rare pool. This was one of the very few things that you could kind of look at when you're looking at an investment for the future and say, well, these cases are in the non-prime pool, so most likely almost one of these cases are going to go into the rare pool next time, unless they just add another case to the non-prime pool. But this is completely new, that they're not going to push a case into the non-prime pool necessarily. They could just take one from the prime pool and put it into the rare pool, and it brings up a lot of different variables for investing. Something that's really important to know is that CSGO wasn't made for investing. They didn't make these cases and these skins for investing into, and that's a real problem when it comes to investing into CSGO, is that it wasn't meant to be an investment. So Valve can do really whatever they want, and they don't care about the investors. The investors, they know, are taking the risk, and pretty much they can do whatever they want. So it's very hard to find set things like this, and when we find something that we believe is set like this, it's very, very important when it just goes away, because we have to look at the other set things we have and really reevaluate those. But at this point, we've gotten to the point where it's really not much for set things anymore. I mean, it used to be believed that the case that was the oldest was the most likely to go into the next pool, but we've seen the revolver case sit in the non-prime pool for almost 6 years. I mean, there is not too much reliably out there now that you can just say is a definite thing when it comes to CSGO investing. Speaking of all these cases, though, I might as well give a little bit more of my thoughts on the Prisma case. I think the Prisma case is really going to struggle moving forward. There is just so many of these cases out there, and people need to understand that there's so many cases. We've gotten to the point where there's tons of cases that there's no reason that anyone would be opening the Prisma case. It's not like it has super specific skins that you like. I mean, there's just a bunch of different factors that play into it, and I don't see us unboxing 750,000 of these, because there's that many on the market, and it's just not something I can see going up anytime soon. We talk a lot about long-term investments. I think this, along with the Broken Fang case, are two that are going to be very long-term investments, and honestly, I don't know how profitable it will be to hang on to them for super duper long, because there's a ton of these cases, and it's going to take almost forever to just get them to start moving. I think we're starting to get to the point in CSGO's career where people are not unboxing cases just because it's the cheapest one out there. For a while there, and I feel like 2014 to 2018 was really a time when people were unboxing cases, whichever one was the cheapest, which was 3 cents, almost guaranteed. There was almost always a case at 3 cents during that time, and now we're starting to see a little bit different. There's no cases at 3 cents, so what's the really big difference if you're going to pay 7 cents versus 10 cents? I mean, why would you open up the Prisma case when you can go open up a case you really want to open for 10 or 12 cents? I think there's a lot more potential for people to be looking into cases to invest in that maybe have less than 100,000 out there. 750,000 on the market right now, and 1 million just a week before. brings a lot of hesitancy, at least for me, to invest into it for a super long period of time. I think people are also realizing how big of a scam cases are to open, and I feel like we've already known that for a while. But I think with now that there's RMR capsules, lots of other different capsules, souvenir packages, and just lots of different CSGO gambling sites out there, that there's a lot more options out there now than there was previously to a lot of people. I think there's no reason that you should be opening up a case when you can go unbox a $50 gold sticker from a 25-cent capsule. I don't see a lot of people really going after a case in this scenario. I think the last thing is one of the most important. That's going to be the reason the Prisma case does not have a ton of going forward in the future, is that people are buying them for investing, not for opening. Previously in CSGO investing was not the biggest thing. Not a ton of people were into it, and that's why these cases were able to be such profitable investments, because people were opening them up left and right, and when they were bought off the market, they were bought so they could be opened rather than they could just be kept away in a storage unit for a long period of time. What happens then is we see all these people who just continually just try and take less and less profit each time. I mean, we saw 250,000 cases sold in the span of less than a week. I can think that reasonably less than a tenth of those are going to be unboxed. No one's just buying these cases to unbox them right now because the case was put into the rare drop pool. A lot of people are buying them so they can hold on to them for a while. And when we have a lot of pretty much average investors, I say, a lot of people who aren't into CSGO investing too much, but they just saw this case was put into the rare drop pool. When the case reaches 10 or 12 cents, they're going to sell out, and that's when we see the case start to stagnate because all these people are selling them, when really there's not a ton of profit to be made there already. And then people start going lower and lower because they just want to cash out. They've had this case for 6 months and it's only gone up 2 cents. They're trying to cash out anything they can, and I think it just becomes a little bit of a snowball effect as we start going back down to where the price was almost originally. Now, that is worst case scenario, but it's really hard in my mind to see a bunch of people around the world working so each and every one of them can get the most profit possible when half of them are competing with each other. I think there's a lot of potential for this case to go up, but it all revolves around communication, and that's something that I don't see a lot of people doing around the world just so they can earn themselves a cent or two. We're going to see people competing with each other and trying to squeeze out every last bit of profit they can, and they don't care if that's through predatory ways or not. It's going to be whichever way is the easiest for them. But that is really all I have for today, guys. I mainly wanted to talk about what really happened. Going from the prime drop pool to the rare drop pool is a huge event that we haven't seen lately in CSGO. I don't really know if we've ever seen it in CSGO, so it brings up a lot of unknowns. But I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. We are growing super quickly, and if you guys are not already entered in the giveaway, I would highly recommend it. But as always, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.